Imagine being a kid who loves cartoons so much that you spend every free moment drawing. Drawing at school, drawing at home, drawing when you're supposed to be doing something else. Now imagine growing up and one day walking through the gates of Disney. Not as a visitor, not as a fan, but as an animator. Sounds impossible, especially in the 1950s, when almost nobody in the animation industry looked like you. But one young artist refused to let that stop him. His name was Floyd Norman. And this is the story of how a boy with a pencil became a Disney legend. Floyd Norman was born in 1935 in Santa Barbara, California. From the moment he could hold a pencil, he loved to draw. But Floyd wasn't just doodling, he was studying. Every cartoon, every comic strip, every animated character. While other children laughed at the cartoons on screen, Floyd wondered how they were made. Who drew them? How did those drawings move? How did artists create entire worlds from imagination? Questions like these filled his mind. Without realizing it, he was already training himself to become an animator. Back then, cartoons weren't something you watched on a phone. Children would go to movie theaters, and before the main film started, animated shorts would appear on the screen. Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy. To millions of children, they were entertaining. To Floyd, they were magical. He watched carefully, studied every movement, every expression, every scene. The more he watched, the more he dreamed. One day, he wanted to create that magic himself. As Floyd got older, his dream only grew stronger. But becoming an animator wasn't easy, especially for a young black artist in America during the 1940s and 1950s. There were few examples to follow, few opportunities, few people who looked like him in the industry. Many would have accepted those limits. Floyd didn't. Instead, he enrolled at the Art Center School in Los Angeles. There he spent countless hours improving his craft, sketching, learning, practicing, preparing himself for a chance he wasn't even sure would come. Then one day, Floyd decided to do something bold. He reached out to Walt Disney Studios, the company behind the cartoons he had loved since childhood, the company responsible for some of the most beloved characters in the world. For many people, that would have felt intimidating. But Floyd believed in his talent. And then, something incredible happened. Disney responded. Soon after, he was invited to join the studio. The dream that once felt impossible was suddenly becoming real. Imagine that moment. You're a young artist. You've spent years dreaming about Disney. Then one morning, you walk through those famous gates, the same place where countless animation classics were created, the same place where Walt Disney worked, the same place where imagination became reality. For Floyd, it must have felt surreal. But there wasn't much time to celebrate, because now he had something to prove. Few people can say they worked alongside Walt Disney. Floyd Norman can. He joined Disney during one of the most exciting periods in animation history. Every day brought new ideas, new stories, new challenges. Artists filled rooms with sketches. Characters evolved from rough drawings into living personalities. Stories were shaped scene by scene, and Floyd was part of it. Not as a spectator, but as a creator, a contributor, a member of the team.
If we move this beat here, the emotional payoff will land much better.
That makes a lot of sense.
When Floyd joined Disney, he became the company's first African-American animator. Today that may sound historic, but at the time, it wasn't something he talked about often. His focus was simple: do great work, tell great stories, be the best artist he could be. Yet every day he walked into that studio, he was quietly making history. Not through speeches, not through protests, but through excellence. Success has a way of changing what's possible because after Floyd, other artists could look at Disney differently. Young black artists could see someone who had already broken through, someone who had proven that talent belonged everywhere. Doors that once seemed locked began to open. And with every artist who followed, his impact grew. Floyd's story didn't end with Disney. Over the decades, he worked across the animation industry, television, film, writing, story development, new projects, new adventures, new generations of artists. His career spanned decades, long enough to watch animation evolve from hand-drawn sketches to the digital worlds audiences enjoy today. And through it all, he remained passionate about storytelling.
What if the main character finds the key here?
I love how you designed this environment.
The greatest thing Floyd Norman created wasn't a cartoon. It wasn't a movie. It wasn't even a character. It was possibility, because somewhere today, a young artist is sitting at a desk, drawing, dreaming, wondering if they belong. Floyd Norman's life answers that question. Yes, you do. Floyd Norman proved that imagination has no color, that creativity belongs to everyone, and that sometimes history is changed not by kings or presidents, but by someone holding a pencil, a person brave enough to follow a dream, and talented enough to make that dream real. But Floyd Norman wasn't the first African-American artist to change the world of cartoons. Long before Disney, long before animation studios opened their doors, another pioneer was already breaking barriers. His cartoons appeared in magazines across America. His work reached millions, and he became the first nationally successful African-American cartoonist. And soon, we'll explore the remarkable life of E. Sims Campbell, because every trailblazer leaves a path for someone else to follow. Shout out to TXA Studios for bringing this story to life.